Hi, my name is Chanda, and I'm a facilitator with the Prison Yoga Project. Today we'll be focusing on a grounding sequence. If you have 2 blocks available, feel free to grab them now. Otherwise, you can use perhaps a chair or if you have a stool nearby. Let's begin. Let's start with shoulder rolls. So just begin by feeling your feet. Feet are about hip-width distance apart. Relax your body and just take a few deep breaths. And just begin by drawing the shoulders up towards the ears, back, down onto the back. Bring them forward, up towards the ears, soften them onto the back. And just do this a few times. And perhaps you notice any sensations of tightness or tenderness. And so you can move at a range that feels good for you. Move at a pace that feels good for you. And maybe let's do one more. So we'll inhale, bring the shoulders back and down. And let's just pause here for a moment. Beginning with a powerful squat. This is going to allow you to really feel into the large muscles in your legs and feet. So again, your feet are about hip-width distance apart. Beginning to center the weight over your 2 feet. Softly begin to bend your knees, hinging forward slightly from your hips. Keep your chest open, shoulders on the back. Your neck is long, maybe gazing at the floor a few inches in front of you. And you can reach your arms forward, just to shoulder level, palms facing each other. If this feels comfortable. If you want a little bit more of a chest opener, you can create goalpost with your arms. So the palms are facing the floor, chest broad, neck long, throat open. And just take a few breaths here. Maybe you begin to feel a little heat building in your legs. And you can come up at any point if it starts to feel too intense. But just begin to focus on your breath. Draw your navel in towards your spine to help lengthen the tailbone, engaging your abdominal muscles and strengthening your back. Keep the chest open, soften your gaze, relax your face. 2 more breaths. Deep breath in through the nose, deep breath out through the nose. 1 more time, deep breath in through the nose, deep breath out through the nose. And then when you're ready on that next inhale, press down through the feet to straighten the legs, release the arms, and breathe. And maybe bring one hand onto your belly. You can bring one hand onto your heart or your chest. And maybe you can feel your heart beating. Feel a deepening of your breath. Maybe you notice different sensations in your body as well. Just allow yourself to become aware of them, but without becoming distracted. Just paying attention to your experience. Take 1 more deep breath in. 1 more deep breath out. Release your hands. Let's prepare to play with balance a little bit. So I'm going to stand to face the top of my mat. Again, my feet are hip-width distance apart. And just feeling into my feet, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders open and down the back. Softly and slowly begin to shift your weight into your left leg. And let's bring the heel of the right foot off of the ground. And maybe just playing with stability and balance here. You can stay here if you'd like, or maybe you begin to lift the toes from the floor as well. So now I'm balancing in my left leg. It can be helpful to gaze softly at a point on the wall directly in front of you. You can also bring the knee up a little bit higher. Again, engaging those abdominal muscles. Take 1 more breath in. And then we're going to step the right foot far back onto the mat. So moving slowly and just beginning to feel into this new space, this new position of the body. Feel free to put a little bend in your right knee if your hamstrings feel a little sensitive, or you can keep the leg lengthening out. And take a moment just to feel your left foot, left toes. Notice that the right heel is lifted from the floor. Take one more breath in. And let's go ahead and spin that back heel down. So now both feet are firmly planted onto the floor. Nice, long, strong right leg. My left knee bending forward over the ankle. Chest lifted, shoulders open, softening the ribs in towards the spine. Again, to engage the abdominals. As you inhale, begin to sweep your arms forward. Again, maybe palms are facing each other. Softening the shoulder blades onto the back. You can stay here. You can also open the arms to a cactus. So palms facing forward, that goalpost shape. You can stay here or maybe reaching those arms skyward. But if you begin to feel tightness, tenderness, discomfort of any kind, feel free to take one of those earlier options, goalposts or reaching the arms forward. Let's take one more breath here. Exhale. On your next inhale, let's go ahead, come off that back heel. So my right heel lifts from the floor. And release the arms, look forward, step forward, and release. Let's move to a forward fold. So knees bend. I can bring my hands onto the top of my thighs. Just pausing here, hinging from the hips. Again, if you have those blocks available, feel free to place them right in front of your feet. Hands can come onto the blocks. Knees can be bent. Soften and lengthen your neck. And breathe. You get to decide the depth of your forward fold. So maybe you stay up nice and high and it's a little bit more active, or you can soften even more, hinging from the hips, releasing your head. You can hold on to the opposite arm. And just allowing the weight of the head to help lengthen the spine. Maybe you can begin to straighten into your legs a little bit more. Rocking the body weight forward into the front of the feet a little bit more. Take one more long, slow, deep breath in. One more long, slow, deep breath out. Inhale, bend your knees. If you're holding onto your arms, bring them back onto the blocks or onto your thighs. And we're going to slowly roll back up to standing. So those knees are nice and soft. Chin moves in towards the chest, shoulders round, and the head is the last part of the body to lift up. Take your time. Shoulders lifting up, back, and down. Let's do that on the other side. So beginning to feel into both of your feet. The weight's evenly distributed between your right and left feet. And we begin to shift the body weight slightly into the right foot, slowly lifting the left heel from the ground. And again, reestablish your connection to the ground, to the earth beneath you by pressing down into the right foot, but lengthening up through the crown of the head so the spine is nice and long. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you flex the left foot so your toes are lifting from the earth. So now I'm balancing in my right leg. You can stay here or you can draw that left knee in a little bit higher to the chest. And with your next inhalation, get a little longer. And as you exhale, reach far back to the back of the mat with your left foot. We just pause here for a moment. Feel free to take a breath, feel your feet, feel connected, feel balanced. And then slowly pivot that left heel down. So now both feet are firmly rooted onto the ground. Chest is open, ribs drawing into the spine. On your next inhale, let's sweep and reach the arms forward. Feel free to stay here, or you can cactus your arms. Or, if you prefer, you can reach your arms towards the ceiling. Soften your gaze, relax your face, and just breathe. One more breath in. One more breath out. Let's release the arms back down. Come off the back heel. Look forward. Try to step that left foot right alongside the right. Pausing here. Let's find that forward fold once again. So again, bend your knees. Hands can come onto the thighs. Let your shoulders round. This is where you have the option to bring your hands onto your chair or stool, or even onto the blocks if you have them available. You can stay up nice and high. So it's really important to pay attention to what your body needs. So if those knees need a little bit more bend to help support your hamstrings and your back, feel free. You can stay up nice and high, or you can soften a little bit more into the fold, releasing your head. Maybe reaching for your opposite elbow with your hands. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. When you're ready, release your hands, bring them back onto the blocks. And from here, we're actually going to transition to seated. So feel free to come down onto the ground however you'd like. You can move your blocks off to the side if you'd like. Bend your knees. Step your feet back. Bring your knees down. I'm going to cross my feet, roll back over my legs, and arrive in a seat. Excellent. So I'm on the floor. My feet are about hip-width distance apart. Take a few moments just to breathe into this new position, this transition from standing to now seated. And we'll open the chest. So bring your hands behind you, fingertips facing in towards the body. My fingertips are maybe 6 to 8 inches away from my body, depending on the length of your arms. Take a breath in and lengthen the arms. Lift your chest, roll your shoulders open your throat, and maybe look upwards. If you are in a place with maybe 8, 9 feet high ceilings, maybe looking to where the wall meets the ceiling, but without any strain in your neck. Steady your gaze and find your breath. Two more breaths. And again, just perhaps noticing any sensations that you feel, not only in the chest, but maybe in your forearms and hands, the upper arms, your biceps, your triceps. Drawing more of your shoulders onto your back, perhaps feeling more of your back muscles engage. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And when you're ready, just slowly returning to an upright seat, bringing the hands forward, pausing here. Preparing for star pose. So we're just going to allow the soles of the feet to come together and the knees to fall apart. And this is another great opportunity to maybe use blocks, if you have them available, blankets, rolled up shirts, towels, and you can place them underneath your knees. So turn the blocks as high as you need them to be, right? You can have them on high, on medium, or low. Soles of the feet are together. And I want to be able to sit up nice and tall. So if you find your back is rounding, that could be an indication that maybe turning the blocks up a little higher will help you sit up a little taller. Your hands can rest on your feet, or you can let your forearms just kind of rest on the legs. But again, with no strain, no stress. Soften your gaze, or if you're comfortable, maybe even closing your eyes. And if your eyes are closed, just allow them to open softly. You can bring your hands underneath your knees, draw your knees in towards one another. Remove the blocks. Once again, set them off to the side. Take a moment to see if you need to adjust yourself on your mat. We're going to come down onto our backs. So feel free to have the knees bent. You can have your hands under your thighs to help support the back. And come all the way down. Coming onto your back, we'll move into a reclining twist. So lengthening your legs, lengthening the arms. And so let's begin by bringing the left knee in towards the chest. Holding it, interlacing your fingers just below the knee, supporting the weight of the leg. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, your right hand's going to support your left leg, moving across the body to the right. My left arm extends out to the left. And again, feel free to use a block to support you. The goal is not to get the knee to the ground. We want to make sure that we're protecting the back. So maybe placing a block underneath the knee or blanket can help support you. Also, you can turn the head to the left if that feels okay with your neck. Otherwise, just gaze softly towards the ceiling. Let's take a few breaths here. Notice any sensations in your belly or even in your chest. You may hear the sounds of digestion if your tummy's beginning to grumble. Maybe even noticing the beating of your heart. Let's take one more long, slow, deep breath in. One more long, slow, deep breath out. And let's slowly turn the head towards the ceiling. If you turned it to the left, we're going to support this left leg coming back into center. Lengthen the leg back onto the floor. And let's pause for a moment. Both legs, both arms fully supported by the floor, releasing the weight of the body. Other side. So let's bend that right knee, bring it in towards the chest. You can interlace your fingers and hold on to the lower leg. And just notice any sensations that you feel in through the right hip or even in your lower back. Holding the right leg with the left hand, I'm going to extend my right arm out to the right and slowly begin to rotate my torso to the left. And again, I have a block on this side that I can use to support the weight of my leg. Maybe turning my head to gaze softly over the right shoulder. And you can have your eyes softened, or you can even close them if that feels comfortable. And again, just feeling your body breathing. Noticing any sensations in the body that perhaps need your attention. So if your low back does not like the twist, by all means, it's always optional. We'll take one more breath in, one more breath out. And when you're ready to slowly begin to turn the head facing the ceiling, let's bring both hands to the right leg to support the leg coming back in towards the body. Take a breath and release. Now transitioning into our final relaxation pose. This is an opportunity for you to make yourself as comfortable as possible. So you can move blocks off to the side, anything that's touching your body, just moving it away. So feel free, if it's more comfortable, you can have your hands resting on your body, maybe both hands on your belly. Sometimes it can feel nice to just kind of rest your arms with your hands by your ears to open the chest. And if you have blankets available, you can place them underneath the arms if you have tightness in through the shoulders and chest. For those who perhaps have tightness in their low back or hamstrings, you can always bend your knees. And a great way to do this is to walk your feet wider than hip width distance apart and just let the knees fall in towards each other so that they can rest and support each other. So just choose an option that feels good for you, that feels good for your body. And I'd like to take us through a tensing and releasing exercise to help us relax just a little bit more. And so we'll begin by just moving from the feet all the way up through to the head before we move into our deep relaxation. So begin by bringing your awareness to your legs and your feet. And maybe you can flex your feet, pull the toes in towards the body. You can point your toes towards the floor. You can splay the toes. And just begin to tighten the muscles. Tightening them, maybe stretching through the heels. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, release. You can release the breath out with an ah. Let's move up to the hips. So begin to tighten your buttocks, maybe lifting them from the floor. We tighten, tighten, tighten. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth. And release. Bring your awareness now to your arms and your hands. And you can splay your fingers wide and lift them from the floor, reaching for the opposite corners of the room. You can make fists, clenching the hands, tightening the muscles in the arms. And we tighten, tighten, tighten. Take a breath in. And release. Let your arms drop to the floor. We have an option to hold and retain the breath. If that's not comfortable for you, feel free not to do it. We'll take a breath in, hold the breath, maybe taking in just a little bit more breath. Hold the breath. Can you take in just a little bit more breath? Hold it, hold it, hold it. And release. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Stretch your shoulders towards your feet and then draw your shoulders up towards your ears. Tighten, tighten, tighten. And release. Bring your awareness to the muscles in your face. Maybe you open the eyes and look up. You can open the mouth and stick out your tongue. And release. And now scrunch your face, pucker your lips, scrunch in your nose, draw everything in towards the center of your face. Tighten, tighten, tighten. And release. And take another 3 to 5 seconds to make any final adjustments to make the body just a little bit more at ease, a little bit more comfortable. You can gently rock your head from side to side, allowing your head to find a comfortable place to rest. And feel free to remain here as long as you like, as long as time permits. But as you do so, try not to move or disturb the body. Give yourself permission to be completely still, completely at rest. Release control of your breath and allow your body to breathe itself. Resting in stillness and in silence for the next few seconds. Take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh the breath out. Softly sealing the lips, begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. If space permits, maybe lifting the arms up and overhead. You can even reach for opposite elbows if you can't quite stretch the arms overhead. And just lengthen your toes towards the wall in front of you, gently waking the body. One at a time, bring your feet onto the floor. And making a pillow for your head with your right arm, just carefully roll onto your right side. Bending the knees in towards the chest. Eyes can still be closed. Taking a few more moments just to feel your body in stillness before we transition to a tall, upright seat. And then making this the slowest movement of the day. Bring your left hand onto the ground just in front of you and press your left hand down. Slowly begin to press the right hand down, allowing the head to lift last as you return to an upright seat. You can have your legs crossed or legs outstretched in front of you, whatever feels most comfortable for your body. Hands can rest on top of your knees or one on top of the other in your lap. Maybe the eyes are closed or your gaze is on the floor just in front of you. Take just a few moments to feel your body, to notice the quality of energy in your body. Perhaps noticing if anything has changed or shifted in your experience during this time. And when you're ready, feel free to gently join your hands together in front of your heart, just closing our practice and acknowledging your effort. Namaste and thank you.